Okay, so I will now kind of also sharing you guys a Google Drive folder. Okay, from where kind of like you can actually download uh, all the kind of materials that I like to share with you guys. So let me just share that link with you right now. Just give me 1 second. Almost there. And this week will be a little bit, I'll say, is that kind of more kind of lab oriented. Okay. And I'll be kind of sharing a link with you now. And I'll be first explaining you what all data will be there in that folder. So let me just so I'll be saying this folder. There is a materials folder over here, which I'll be sharing. Okay. I hope this is kind of visible to you guys. So this is a materials folder, and in this materials folder, there will be few files that we'll be kind of using. So the first one is the FTK imager. Okay, that we will be kind of installing in the Windows operating system, and then kind of like we'll try to understand like how FTK imager is used. Okay, and then let me see if someone is there. Yeah. So we'll look at those, how to kind of use that FTK imager. Then I have a base image, a zip file. It is actually the kind of the disk image overall of a host that we will be kind of analyzing and try to kind of so what we're doing is that that base image is actually kind of compromised. It had malware that was running in past. Okay, so we will be kind of trying to investigate that image and try to kind of find out, okay, let's say according to this seed, like what files are executed or what applications are executed, and then try to find out like, okay, are there anything malicious going on that host? Okay, so we'll try to do that. So the thing is that I will share that link, and you guys can kind of download that. The only request from my end is that keep this file, especially the image file, or let's say the few other files, only for you. Let's not kind of share with anyone else. So that's the only request. So once I share that that folder, the other thing is that there will be multiple other files that will be kind of coming up in this folder. I will kind of letting you know about that. So a few things that might come up is let's say uh, the cape.zip, and the memory images that we will kind of investigating using volatility. So that those things will be kind of coming up. For now, there is one more interesting kind of lab that I have put out, is that on the Windows host, what I will be going to do is, like I will be installing the ransomware. I will be executing the ransomware malware on the Windows host, which will be this one. Okay, in this one, and our objective as a forensic investigator, let's say, will be to remove that malware from the system. Okay, without using any kind of antivirus. So without using any kind of antivirus, what we will be doing is that uh, first we'll kind of execute that on the host. Okay, let it run, let it encrypt the file, and then what we will do is that we will totally remove the host from the malware from the system. Okay, so thing is that when this malware will run, it will create lot of persistence mechanism. So let's say even though you turn off your computer and turn it on, the malware will be there. And even like you delete the malware will again keep on coming. Okay, so we'll try to kind of approach that system which was kind of compromised, let's say from by the ransomware, we'll try to kind of remove that using forensics way, and then we'll also kind of try to decrypt the files which were encrypted. Okay, so this will kind of give you an objective like, okay, how you can use the your forensic knowledge to remove any kind of malware from the system. Okay, to remove any kind of malware from the system without depending on any kind of antivirus. Okay, and then maybe using those, like the base idea that I said for the jigsaw malware, maybe you can kind of, let's say, using a Python scripting knowledge, you can develop some kind of software which can remove the malwares. Let's say which can kind of auto um, find the malwares in the system and also remove that completely without, let's say, depending on any kind of antivirus solution or EDR solutions. Okay, so that will be kind of a really good exercise to kind of go through. So we'll try to see that too only once we have covered, let's say, a lot of uh, these artifacts, and let's say we have investigated the base image, let's say memory image, we have done the timeline analysis and all of that. Okay, now one other thing about this IR spreadsheet.xls file. So let me just quickly open that up. Just give me 1 second. Almost there. Okay, so are we now kind of opening the IR spreadsheet.xls file, which you guys can also kind of download. Okay, and let me just quickly see if the screen is visible. Okay, and now in this, uh, so this is the IR spreadsheet.xls file which I have actually opened right now using the Google Sheet tool. Okay, online. And thing is that it has, so this is something which I will say is that once you download that and once you kind of, let's say, you are doing any kind of investigation. So I will tell is that whenever you deal with any incident in real life for any of the client, okay, so you try to kind of record the important events. Let's say you are investigating a system A, okay, a Windows system. You try to kind of record all the suspicious activity happening on for that system in this kind of seek, always, in even in real life. Okay, so I'll quickly go through that one by one. So let's say the first section is a timeline, right? The first section is a timeline. So in the timeline, let's say it has date and time, which was the host. Let's say what host you are investigating. So let's say you have 5 systems to investigate. So you say that, okay, this is a time, this is system A, and this is the suspicious activity that you saw in that host. Okay, let's say an attacker logged in. Then you give another date and time, then system A, and then you say once the attacker logged in, this is what attacker did. And you did this, and you do this for all the systems that you are kind of investigating. Let's say 5 system, you do system A, system B, system B, C, and C. To create a timeline over there. Okay. Now once that timeline uh, is kind of have been created, what you guys do is that you go to, let's say, compromise host. So this is another kind of section in that sheet where it will say is that let's say you're investigating 5 systems. So which hosts were compromised? So let's say only 3 were compromised, for example, system A, B, and C. So you record that, okay, this is the host name of the system, and what was the earliest date when that host was kind of compromised. Let's say February 2023. So you record that